This week, we're going to be taking a look at a film that both critics and general audiences love, and that's in a general sense, and that's 1959's Some Like It Hot, this week on MATsterpiece Theater.
Girl. Good night, sugar. Good night, honey.
And that was a scene from Some Like It Hot, 1959's critically acclaimed, charming picture starring the legendary Tony Curtis, the wonderful Jack Lemmon, and the very seductive and underestimated, I think, Marilyn Monroe in the respective roles that really suited them well here. You know, everything that could be stated about this picture has already been stated by better reviewers than myself. All I can do is tell you what I think of this picture. And what I think is, it's a great film, guys. There's no debating it. Of course, the titular, or our two protagonists, male protagonists, Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis, are being chased after witnessing the historic St. Valentine's Day massacre in 1920s Chicago. And they decide to hide themselves dressed as females as part of an all-girls jazz band. And that scene we just saw, they run across Marilyn Monroe's character on as stowaways on a bus. Well, they're not stowaways; they're just pretending to be females. And this film is funny, guys, on many levels. I had no problem with the music, which is fantastic. It's brilliant direction, arguably by Billy Wilder. And some would say that actually Marilyn Monroe herself directed a lot of this movie. She demanded several retakes and reshoots, specifically in a lot of in the kissing scene with Tony Curtis. There's a long one later on in the film. But all that aside, it's brilliantly performed, it's brilliantly directed, and it's got great score. So what are my problems with Some Like It Hot? Well, there's not many of them, but they do exist. Contrary to what most critics say, Some Like It Hot is not a perfect film. It goes on a bit too long in the third act, guys. There's a little bit too much of the mob chase scenes towards the end. And that's not even a huge drawback. It's just the story, the writing, I would have taken in a different direction. Now, the film hints at both Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis really liking the Monroe character, who's named Sugar Cane. But they didn't really play off of it as much as I would have had I been penning the script. Of course, Tony Curtis falls head over heels for Marilyn Monroe, but the first one to do so is actually Jack Lemmon's character, but they didn't keep going with that. I would have had them both fall head over heels with her, and then we could have had a blast seeing them foil each other as in those feminine roles, and both being deeply in love with her. And then in the end, they both forgive each other. And of course, she decides, hey guys, I'm going to make my choice about who I love and wants to be with. I think that would have been playing into that aspect more than the film actually did, and cutting out some of those really lackluster mob scenes. There's a point where the mob's chasing them throughout the motel or the hotel they're staying at, and it just drags a little bit, guys, in the third act. Up until that time, the film, I couldn't look away. It's great in nearly every way. But I do enjoy this picture. That's why I'm going to rate it a solid 4 stars. It fires on almost every level. The performances, music, and directing is timeless. It's just, I don't think it's the perfect motion picture. And I know a lot of critics feel they do, and I respect that choice. It's just not my pick to place among those 5-star movies. And admittedly, guys, my scale is quite, it's hard to break into that 5-star because it places them among the greatest pictures of all time. But, you know, I love, according to my scale, a 2.5-star film is an above average movie. There are 2-star films that I like. So I don't think 4-star is is hurting this motion picture that much. It is, and it does live up to its hype after all this years. Some of the social messages that it can portray, I could see being somewhat offensive to some folks. They weren't to me. But Some Like It Hot is a really good movie. It is a classic, and you should watch it if you haven't seen it. I love Jack Lemmon in this. I loved Marilyn Monroe's performance. She is an underrated, or was an underrated actress herself. And I don't know if she lived up to what they say about her being difficult to work with, but she was certainly phenomenal. She displayed, well, not that I'm in the minority where I don't think she's God's gift to women. I see lots of beautiful women, and she is a beautiful woman, or was a beautiful woman. But I don't, I think there was much more to her as far as her acting ability goes and her business savvy goes, than the way that she's usually portrayed. She was an excellent at making us think that she was just the dumb blonde type, and I think she was much more than that, both as a person and as an actress. But these are my opinions and my thoughts, guys. What did you think of the film? Let me know below. If you liked MATsterpiece Theater, please go on helping us support this show and giving us a like, following us on Letterboxd, on X, or formerly Twitter. I'd love for you guys to leave a comment and go ahead and subscribe if you're not. It does a lot towards supporting this show. But thank you guys so much for watching. We're going to be back next week with a new film to discuss. God bless you. And until next week, the balcony is closed.